taking a little break out here on the corner of the beautiful maple tree, turning orange, and then it's going to eventually turn red. It's a beautiful day. It's rainy. I've got a couple of wet dogs here that heard me come out and came running up, and thank the Lord they didn't shake. You know how dogs shake the water off of them, but they run through the tall grass, and it's just a beautiful, fresh day. I've been working today. I've got some prayer concerns, so some things going on that you can lift up to the throne of grace. But I was listening to a podcast this morning, and it was a Christian theological podcast that I enjoy listening to, and it's kind of part of my quiet time. And the guy said, they got on evolution and creation, and the guy said that this is inexplainable from science, and you never hear about it in textbooks, or they never study what I'm about to tell you. The sonar in a dolphin is the exact same design and structure and function as the sonar in a bat. And they were they were pointing out that those two functions of sonar would have to have evolved at completely different, they're not even related. A bat and a dolphin aren't related. So those, as far as evolution is concerned, those would have had to evolve over millions of years in two separate tracks and be the exact same structure. Design, get that word, design? It points to a creator. It only points to a creator. And I had to laugh when I heard that. And there's so many other things like bone structures and the way the ear works and the eye, to think that things just evolved like that, or, species. Why wouldn't every animal have a long neck like a giraffe? If long necks made you eat better food, why wouldn't every plant evolve to taste bad or to be poisonous so it wouldn't get eaten? And you could go on and on and on. But it made me think of this verse that honors the Lord. It's Genesis 1:24, and I'm paraphrasing it. I just looked it up. It made me look it up because I was thinking of it. The word kind. God made everything according to its kind, and it says that God basically spoke to the earth. He made everything, and everything comes from the earth. You think about that. Every animal, every plant, every living thing comes from the earth, and it is sustained by the earth. Our food comes from the earth. Our vitamins, our minerals, everything comes from the earth. Water comes from the earth ultimately, right? It comes from the sky, but it starts in the earth. And so it says this, that God basically said to his earth, bring forth plants and animals according to their kind. All the plants and animals according to their kind. So God commanded. He made everything, but he did it with the power of his word, his voice. And things were created. And kinds, I want you to get that word. Study that word, kinds. It goes, fast forward a few chapters to Genesis 6, 7, 8, 9, where Noah comes on the scene and the ark. And you've got Noah, God sent the animals into the ark by kinds. And by kinds, he sent 2 by 2 of kinds, unclean, and 7 pairs of clean. And we can read that right in Genesis. And I believe that's literal. I believe God sent the kinds of animals. People scoff and say, oh, where'd the kangaroos come? They came from Australia. And, well, the earth wasn't divided yet, and there's a whole lot more to that. But the point is, it's the kinds. He didn't have to send kangaroos, because if a kangaroo is the same kind as an elk or I don't know what family it would be in, but the same kind. So in other words, you've got elks, deer, antelope, probably sheep and goats even in that. They're kinds. And the same kind. You just need one kind, and then God can divide after the flood. The kinds could have been divided up, kind of like dog species. And I don't want to ramble on here, but dogs, you've got dogs, a canine is a canine is a canine, right? Whether it's a toy poodle or whether it's a Great Dane or anything in between. And they all act the same. Their instincts the same. They think the same. Yeah, they have different personalities and temperaments, but think of the dog as being the kind. Canine is the kind. And the breed, all those different, there's 100 breeds of dogs. Those are the variations of that kind. The species, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a taxonomist. I'm not an expert in that. But I know enough to know that when God's word says kind, our ears should perk up. And I know enough where two completely different, disassociated animals, one swims, yeah, it's a mammal, and one's a bat and flies, but they have the exact same sonar structure and design. That's the key word. We have an awesome God who designed everything. Intelligent design. If a scientist looks at the world, the creation, looks at the cells, looks at the stars, looks at as big as you can go and as small as you can go, and can't see a designer, an intelligent designer in that, I think that's just a demonic delusion, blindness, because to me, it only points to a designer, and we're going to give God all the glory and honor and praise. So Genesis 1:24, read it, be encouraged by it. I've been reading through the Bible more. I mentioned it yesterday more often. I've been listening to it, so that's kind of cheating, but it's still going in, and I love it. And when I finish, it just starts over again in Genesis. So I've probably hit Genesis a few times because I've been listening to Revelation more and more. And if I fall asleep or if I just keep it playing, it'll go into Genesis after Revelation because it just starts over. So I've heard a lot of Genesis 1 and all the way up even through, Genesis 50. So read God's word, hide it in your heart, pray continually, and share the gospel. I love you guys. I'm going to pray right now for you. God knows who's listening to this and watching it. Subscribe, share it with a friend if it's a blessing to you. But I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow for another GPS Thought. Have a great day.